Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today is my first video on this channel. It is a short story by the title, What They Did to Emily, the Breaking. Her life was a shattered reflection of her childhood dreams. A new job was supposed to be her escape, but a single moment of terror changed everything. A cruel man, a flying glass, and a deep scar that wasn't just on her face, but on her soul. In today's story, we follow Emily as she confronts not just a physical wound, but the monstrous reflection staring back at her. This is Emily's story, The Shattered Reflection. Introduction. This is a story about a girl named Emily, someone who's been broken, stitched, and told to smile through the pain. It's about the kind of silence that screams the loudest, and how even in the darkest places, someone might still be searching for freedom. I wrote this as a reflection on survival, identity, and the quiet power of living. If you have ever felt like you didn't belong or like the world only sees your scars, this one for you. Emily's Story Part 1, The Shattered Reflection. As Emily was watching the clothes with other maids, she heard the voice of her chief calling her to take lunch to Mr. Weasley. He was well known for his bad temper, rude manners, and a smell that never left his room. Every maid avoided going upstairs to his room, especially since his wife passed 2 months ago. But Emily, newly hired and still eager to prove herself, rushed to the kitchen to get the food tray. As she climbed the stairs, a strange feeling began rising from her stomach to her throat. She swallowed it down and carried on. Once she opened the heavy, ominous door, her worst fear became real. A glass of water came flying toward her head. It hit her. She dropped to the ground. Her memories from childhood were messy, a fragment that faded the moment she tried to hold onto them. The only clear images were the girls she used to play with at the foster house. She had always imagined what life would be like if she had a real family, a mother, a father, siblings. She used to create dreams of playing in a garden full of butterflies, her brother and sister laughing her behind her, while loving parent watching from far away. That image, the fantasy, was the only thing that stayed in her mind when she heard the word family, because the reality after being adopted was horrifying. Her so-called new father and mother were monsters in human skin. They abused her in every way until one day she whispered to herself, "Enough. No one will save me unless I do. I will escape." And so she did. Her next challenge was finding a new home, a shelter. She couldn't go back to the foster system, not after turning 18. She wandered the streets until she saw a man in a black jacket and silky hat. He was shouting about the jobs, asking who was willing to work. As she got closer, she saw behind him 3 carriages. Her first thought was, he's hiring for someone rich. The man noticed her staring. "My lady," he said, his eyes scanning her face. "Are you interested in a job?" "What kind of job?" she asked. "A maid at Mr. Weasley's estate. You can see it up the hill," he said, pointing upward. Considering she hadn't eaten anything except a piece of bread she found that morning, she didn't hesitate. "Yes," she said, "I would love to." And that's how she ended up here, now lying in a bed, her cheek bleeding, glass in her skin, and surrounded by the other maids. 3 days later, Emily finally had enough strength to leave her bed. She walked through the house slowly, But everywhere she went, people looked at her differently. Not with curiosity, not with friendliness, with pity and something else, disgust. She couldn't take it. She rushed back to the shared servant room. Thank God no one was there except Julia, the only one she trusted. Emily stepped closer, voice low but sharp. Julia, tell me what's wrong with my face. Julia looked startled. What do you mean? There is nothing wrong. Really? Then explain why you are looking at me like that. I know what it's like when someone looks at you and sees something beautiful, and I know when they looked at you like you're ruined. Emily, please, Julia said. Let's get some tea and talk this through. Talk through what? Emily shouted. I feel the stitches in my face. I haven't even seen a mirror, but I have seen enough in everyone else's eye to know what I have become, a monster. At that moment, Angela, the head maid, stepped in. Emily, darling, I am glad to see you out of bed. Would you like to have breakfast with me? Breakfast, Emily snapped. If your appetite is strong enough to eat while a monster sits across from you, go ahead. Angela stayed calm and pulled a small mirror from her pocket. Here, she said, but listen first. I didn't think he would hurt you. I thought maybe a new face would calm him. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Calm him, Emily said bitterly. You're just as guilty. She lunged toward Angela. In the struggle, the mirror fell, shattered into pieces. Emily froze. Her eyes locked on the biggest chart, the only one clear enough to reflect, and there it was, a scar, deep, sharp, running across her left cheek. Her breath caught. Her tears finally let go. She fell to her knees, staring at her reflection in the broken piece. The other maids stood silently. They no longer saw a girl with a scar. They saw someone broken. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment.